Video number 9. Have you ever told a woman something personal and immediately regretted it? Maybe it was a deep insecurity, a past mistake, or a moment of weakness. You thought being open would bring you closer, only to watch her eyes change, her energy shift, and the way she looked at you never quite the same again. The truth is, not all honesty is good honesty. Women may say they want full transparency, but what they really respond to is strength, stability, and mystery. Some things once revealed can damage attraction, erode respect, and even push her away. In this video I'm going to break down 9 things a man should never tell his woman, because in relationships what you don't say can be just as important as what you do. Let's get into it. Number 1. Your deepest fears. Every man has fears. Some fear failure, others fear being alone. Maybe your biggest fear is losing her, but here's the truth: fear is an internal war, not something to be shared openly. If you pour out your deepest anxieties to her, you make her the keeper of your emotional stability, and that is a burden she was never meant to carry. In the beginning she might listen, she might hold you close and tell you that she understands, that she appreciates your vulnerability, that she loves you for opening up, and in that moment it may feel like you're doing the right thing, like you're deepening the connection by letting her see the rawest parts of you. But over time something begins to shift. That comfort she gave you, it starts to feel more like obligation. She may not say it out loud, but a part of her begins to wonder, is he the man I can lean on, or am I the one who always has to hold him up? Here's the hard truth: a woman wants to feel safe with her man. She wants to know that no matter what happens, he is the one thing in her life that won't crumble under pressure. The moment she starts seeing you as someone who needs her reassurance more than he provides it, the balance of attraction shifts. She may not even realize it herself at first, but respect begins to erode, and when respect fades, desire follows, because at her core a woman craves a man who is strong, not just physically but emotionally. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Fear is nothing but a trick of the mind, a shadow that only grows when you give it attention, and when you allow fear to dictate your words and actions, when you let your anxiety spill out in the hopes that she will soothe them. You are in essence placing your sense of security in her hands. That's not leadership, that's not strength, that's surrender. Imagine a storm raging outside. The wind is howling, rain is pounding against the windows, and thunder shakes the ground beneath you. In that moment a woman doesn't want to look into the eyes of a man who is just as scared as she is. She wants to see a man who stands firm, unshaken, a rock in the middle of the chaos. She wants to know that no matter how fierce the storm gets, she can trust him to remain steady. This is what separates men who are admired from men who are merely tolerated. Strength isn't about never feeling fear, it's about mastering it. It's about being the kind of man who moves forward despite it, who carries himself with quiet assurance, and that assurance, that is what makes a woman feel safe, drawn to you, unable to pull away. So the next time you feel the urge to pour out your deepest fears to her, pause, ask yourself, am I seeking comfort, or am I seeking control over my own mind? Because the man who seeks comfort will always depend on others for his strength, but the man who seeks control, he becomes unshakable, and an unshakable man is a man who never has to fear losing her in the first place. Number 2. The extent of your independence. Every woman says she wants a man who makes her a priority, but the moment she feels like she is your entire world, attraction dies. Why? Because women are drawn to men who have a mission, a purpose beyond them. When a man loses himself in a woman, when his life orbits entirely around her, she may not say it outright, but she will feel it, and that feeling kills desire. She may even start testing you, pulling away, acting indifferent, just to see if you'll chase, and the moment you do, the moment she realizes that your happiness hinges entirely on her, she will start to lose respect for you. The mistake most men make is revealing this secret too soon. Telling her outright, "You're not the center of my world," might sound logical, even honest, but logic doesn't drive attraction, energy does. If she feels like she's competing with your purpose, she will want you more. If she feels like she already has all of you, the challenge is gone, and without challenge there is no desire. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should be guided by his own principles and not by the expectations of others. He didn't need to declare his purpose to those around him, he simply lived it. The same applies to you. A man who walks his path with certainty never needs to explain it. When you remain steadfast in your goals, when your actions, not your words, show that you have a life beyond her, she will respect you for it. So what's the lesson here? Never tell her this secret about yourself. Never say, "I can't live without you," or "You're my everything," not because you don't care, but because a woman doesn't want to be your purpose. She wants to admire you for having one. Show her that your life is moving forward with or without her, and watch how she leans in, drawn by the gravity of a man who is truly in control of himself. At this point, take a Moment to reflect: are you living for yourself, or are you unknowingly making someone else the center of your world? A woman admires a man who is grounded in his purpose, not one who seeks validation through her attention. So ask yourself, are your actions aligned with your own mission? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree that a man's independence fuels attraction, or if you're ready to make a commitment to your own path, simply comment "I choose." Shared. Your past belongs to you and it should stay that way. The only thing that truly matters is how you treat her right now in the present. If you want her to feel secure, don't make her compete with memories. Don't let her feel like just another name on a list. A woman wants to feel like she is the only one who matters, that no one before her and no one after could ever compare. That feeling isn't created through words, it's built through action. A man who keeps a sense of mystery commands respect. He doesn't feel the need to overshare or prove anything. He understands that his woman doesn't need to hear about his past to trust him. She needs to feel his presence, his certainty, his unwavering focus on her. In relationships, less is often more. The less she knows about your past, the more she can focus on the present. The less she worries about the women who came before her, the more she can feel safe in her place beside you. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that complete honesty means revealing every detail of your history. Real honesty isn't about the past, it's about being fully committed to the woman in front of you. Keep your past where it belongs and watch how much stronger your relationship becomes. Number 4. Your exact thoughts on her friends. Let's be honest, not all of her friends are going to be likable. Some may be negative influences, others may disrespect your relationship, but openly criticizing them, that's a battle you don't want to fight. If you tell her "I don't like your friend," she won't see it as a logical statement. She'll take it personally, because in her mind her friends reflect her choices. Instead of changing the situation, you create unnecessary tension, and once you plant that seed of disapproval, she won't forget it. Even if she eventually sees what you see, she'll remember that you were against her judgment. When was the last time someone forced you to see things their way and you happily agreed? Probably never. People resist being told they made a mistake, especially when emotions are involved. Telling a woman outright that her friend is a problem makes her feel like she has to choose between you and them, and more often than not she'll defend them, even if deep down she knows they might not be the best company. The art of diplomacy is a stoic skill. A man who knows when to speak and when to stay silent holds more power than one who reacts emotionally. As Seneca wisely said, better to trip with the feet than with the tongue. Words spoken in frustration can do more harm than good. If her friend is a bad influence, the key is reassures him, but over time something shifts. She starts to feel less safe with him, less drawn to him, not because she lacks empathy, but because deep inside a woman wants a man she can trust to stand firm when life gets tough. Now the other man, he feels the same struggles, but instead of loading them, he takes ownership. He steps back, processes his emotions, and then does something about them. He finds solutions. Instead of dwelling on problems he doesn't need to tell his woman he's strong. His actions prove it. His presence reassures her without words. She looks at him and knows, this is a man I can rely on. That's the difference. That's what separates the men who lead from the men who seek to be saved. Instead of unloading your doubts, channel them. Use your moments of self-doubt as fuel. Train harder, work smarter, improve yourself, move in silence, and let your results speak louder than your fears ever could, because at the end of the day your strength isn't proven by words, it's proven by who you become. And if there's one thing you should remember, it's this: a woman doesn't fall in love with a man because he has no struggles. She falls in love with a man who faces them without losing himself. Number 6. The times you've considered walking away. At some point every man has questioned a relationship. Maybe she did something that made you rethink everything. Maybe you just needed space. That's natural, but here's where a lot of men go wrong. They let their emotions take the wheel, and they say something they can never take back. Telling her "I've thought about leaving" doesn't just shake her, it plants a seed of doubt that never truly goes away. You might think you're being honest, but what you're really doing is making her question the foundation of your relationship. And once a woman feels like she's standing on shaky ground, her trust, her security, and even her attraction start to erode. A woman should always feel a healthy level of mystery and unpredictability, but she should never feel like she's constantly one misstep away from losing you. That's not a power move, that's emotional chaos. It creates fear, not passion. It makes her anxious, not drawn to you. A stoic man understands this. He